Hey everyone, welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Wednesday, March 30th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. All right, so it's been a very transformational couple days with the moon in Scorpio and Ophiuchus. So now the moon finishes her transit of Ophiuchus here today, goes over that galactic center, which is that point of transformation, and then goes into Sagittarius. So this is the part of the chart where after we go through the deep healing, or we go through the deep acceptance, which is really the preliminary step, and that transformation occurs, then we go into a much more expansive part of the chart. This is Sagittarius. This is where we see what life is about. What is our life about? You know, how can we expand our horizons? Maybe even tap into a bit of optimism about things in life, that adventurousness. So that's going to be the second half of the day, because that transformation is going to be about midday for most of us. A bit later if you are in Europe and other parts of the world. If you are in the East, do watch the previous day's video, as you'll find that to be the most accurate. So the inner transformation in the first half of the day I think is going to be emphasized, especially because the moon is going to be void of course in Ophiuchus. So with void of course energies, it's good to meditate. It's good to take time off of the regular routine, whatever we do on a regular basis, or at least have that present moment awareness with it. And that allows us to see the deep truth, because that's what Ophiuchus is. It's the deep truth of life, and that's of ourselves primarily. So once we see it, then we accept it, and then the healing and transformation occurs, and then the more expansive view of life will be as a result of that. So that's the moon energy, and it's still a bit of a watery time, in fact, with all this energy in Pisces. The sun in Pisces is showing us that we can be accessing our intuition, really tapping into that receptive approach to life, which is very strong at the moment. Now today we are finishing a couple aspects from yesterday, one of which is Venus going over that south node in Chiron. So with this one, it's also been transformative, and this has been transforming our values, transforming how we connect with others in life, in our relationships. And so that's going to be finishing up today. I think it's an integration day in terms of whatever has been transformed, now putting it into practice. And I think maybe some healing also in the early part of the day, with Venus still very close to that Chiron. So again, just like with that Ophiuchus energy, this is all about acceptance. And it's all about seeing the truth about our values, about our relationships. You know, this is our perspective of them. So the more willing we are to dive deep, see where we can maybe change our perspective of our values, of the things we enjoy in life, of how we relate with others, so that there's more balance, more peace, and more acceptance, then that's what this is all about. And of course, that healing can certainly be in effect today. In fact, it can be a bit of a rejuvenating sort of day after that aspect with Chiron, because usually with this, there's some sort of healing that results in the healed energy, the rejuvenation, the after the transformation kind of thing. So it's still quite strong, though. I still feel like definitely continuing to re-examine our values, re-examine our perspectives on who and what we value and how we connect with others will be very important today. Now, the strongest energy will probably be Mercury squaring up to Pluto. All right, so this happens about twice a year. And this has been that Uranus-Pluto squaring energy. So with this one, today, excuse me, before Mercury goes over that Uranus tomorrow, today Mercury is going to square up to that Pluto. So this is about transformation with the mind. This is about transformation with our communication, our routine even perhaps. So it's all about particularly our thought patterns, right? And with Pluto, it's all about getting rid of old thought patterns, perhaps any outmoded mental complexes that we might have, right? And this also comes through observation, observing the mind, being willing to dive deep, being willing to face them through that inner examination. And that can lead to the truth. And that can lead to a very powerful mind, a very powerful type of communication. But it's not the egoic type. It's not like we own it or we possess it or it's even ours. It's just that once the ego is stripped away, then the truth comes out. Then God, then the universe, energy just works through us. And that's what Pluto does, is it strips away all of the physical, ego, human sort of attachments and things we place on things, in this sense on our minds, the concepts we place on things, strips them away so that we can have a much clearer, more spiritual type of awareness, spiritual type of power when it comes to how we see things, how we communicate things, and this sort of stuff. But it has to come through that willingness to let go, that non-attachment, allowing the ego to have that non-attached perspective, right? Again, present moment awareness does help with this. So that's going to be very strong today. And I feel like anything that is about, again, facing the thoughts, being aware of the thoughts, working with them, working with the communications in a constructive way so that we are seeing the truth, this can make this a very constructive time. Okay, very powerful time, in fact, in terms of transforming the way we see things. And that's really what's happening, because Sagittarius is a type of understanding. It's the philosophical type of understanding, the worldview of life. And I think in the second half of the day, there is this overarching perspective where we can see life, we can see our life, and see where maybe we can have a bit more of that adventurous spirit, that positivity. Because when we're seeing things in the big picture, you can't help but see the divine process. You can't help but see the positivity in it. So I think that we certainly have going for us. So in a nutshell, moon void, of course, in a fucus, first half of the day, finishing up with transformation, with seeing the truth, specifically with the emotional body, which is the moon, but also in terms of how we relate with others, which is that Venus finishing up that South Node Chiron conjunction, perhaps some healing taking place with that, with those perspectives. And then that Mercury squaring up to Pluto, transformation with the mind, coming through acceptance, coming through non-attachment, and a willingness to transform the way we see things. All right, so I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.